Hello and welcome to my presentation of the 2016 Kindergarten Program of Ontario. My name is Ashley Warburton and I will be discussing the key points of the kindergarten program. This will encompass the focus on inquiry-based and play-based learning, the role of the educator in the kindergarten classroom, as well as the role of the third teacher. As well, this presentation will summarize the influence of the Reggio Emilia approach in creating a developmentally appropriate classroom. Kindergarten is a German word that means a garden of children. According to the kindergarten program developed in 2016, the program is a child-centered, developmentally appropriate integrated program for 4 and 5-year-old children. The purpose is to create a strong foundation of learning that will nurture their competencies in order to set children onto a path that inspires lifelong learning. The program is designed to transition children from the home or other childcare settings into school largely through the use of play and inquiry. The environment is extremely important in creating an atmosphere that reflects the needs of each child, allowing them to expand their understanding and love of learning. Children are given the support they need from teachers, educational assistants, and their families to grow in the garden we know as the classroom. As noted in the kindergarten program, children arrive in kindergarten as unique individuals shaped by their particular cultural and social background, socioeconomic status, personal capabilities, and day-to-day experiences in different stages of development. All of these factors influence their ability to reach their full potential. Experiences during the early years strongly influence their future physical, mental, and emotional health and their ability to learn. The program is based on the belief that all children are capable, competent, and curious. Children are seen as unique individuals that are full of potential and ready to take ownership of their learning. The kindergarten program supports these beliefs by creating a comfortable environment for children to explore their own unique ways of thinking and learning. Expectations are developed to be challenging but attainable for each learner, while being flexible enough to respond to each child's individual needs. Every child will be given the support they need in order to develop in many ways, including self-regulation, healthy well-being, sense of security, emotional and social competence, curiosity, creativity, and confidence in learning, as well as respect for diversity, and to support dialogue with families about child learning. The kindergarten program utilizes play-based learning to create a culture of inquiry and success. It is important to understand that children are constantly making meaning of the world around them. Play is a great way for children to do this as it enables children to make sense of their learning while deepening their understanding simultaneously. They are given the freedom to explore, manipulate, build, create, wonder, and ask, all of which forms the basis of an inquiry stance. Play is important as it develops children's problem solving, language acquisition, literacy, and mathematics, along with social, physical, and emotional skills, all of which are needed and utilized under the inquiry process. It is important for kids to engage in inquiry at such a young age as it is an essential part of learning in many disciplines. Children will continue to use inquiry throughout their educational journey in critical thinking, innovation, and creativity. To reinforce the importance of play, this quotation from the curriculum succinctly describes the benefits. Play nourishes every aspect of children's development. Play develops the foundation of intellectual, social, physical, and emotional skills necessary for success in the school and life. It paves the way for learning. Play-based learning goes hand in hand with the inquiry-based learning approach. In the inquiry process, students must understand the problem, make a plan, carry out the plan, communicate findings, and reflect. The inquiry-based approach has different levels of inquiry as shown on the slide. Confirmation inquiry asks students to reinforce already established ideas. Structured inquiry requires students to provide an explanation using a given question and process. Guided inquiry provides students with only a question. The highest level, open inquiry, requires students to form their own questions, design their own research methods, and then provide their own answers. Play is a great example of open inquiry. The children are responsible for establishing the roles, the tasks, the problems, the setting, and they must collaborate with other children to solve their own problems. Children are given the freedom to experiment with their environment to understand the world around them. The role of the educator is important in consolidating and further developing children's learning through play. Educators in a kindergarten classroom also adopted inquiry stance alongside the children in order to support learning and encourage their innate curiosity. By modeling the behavior, children become more comfortable and are able to engage creatively themselves. In this way, educators become researchers. They ask questions to promote inquiry and extended thinking, such as, "What do you think?" or "What would happen if?" This makes the information and learning relevant and real to the child. Therefore, the educator has an absolutely critical role in co-constructing inquiry and learning. Educators are to work with the children rather than tell them what to do. Educators formulate questions, stimulate creativity, think aloud about various perspectives, provide multiple possibilities and solutions, and document thinking and learning. Educators are co-creators and co-learners. This diagram shows the shared responsibilities of the educator and children and their individual responsibilities in play. Along with children and educators, the environment is crucial in the kindergarten program. The classroom environment is known as the third teacher, as it has such a profound impact on learning. The classroom environment communicates to the children what can occur within the atmosphere. Does the classroom support play-based, child-driven learning? Can the children explore their environment to make sense of the world around them? Do the materials overstimulate or confuse the children? Are these materials accessible and flexible to the students' needs? Also, does the learning environment engage and stimulate children's curiosity? These are all examples that educators must take into account when designing and laying out their classroom. A leading approach in understanding the role of the environment comes from Italy and is known as the Reggio Emilia approach. This approach has helped form the kindergarten program in Ontario. It is an innovative and holistic approach to education. It is based upon the social constructivist model, meaning knowledge is constructed by interactions with both people and the environment. It promotes self-guided and inquiry-based learning in relationship-driven atmospheres. Children should be able to enter a Reggio Emilia classroom and learn from the materials there without any teacher intervention. There are 8 principles that are key to this idea: aesthetics, active learning, collaboration, transparency, bringing the outdoors in, flexibility, reciprocity, and relationships. Aesthetics refers to the amount of detail put into the creation of every aspect in the classroom. This ranges from the colors incorporated, which should be composed of subtle colors with brighter accent colors to highlight topics and ideas of importance. Lighting is important in the aesthetics of the classroom, and it should be able to change in terms of intensity, color, and direction to engage children's learning and curiosity. Kelsey Robson adds that this can also be incorporated through light tables or light stations that children can manipulate and explore. The next principle, active learning, is produced by an environment that offers choice and provokes children to discover, explore, investigate, and problem solve using their senses. It is important that the classroom incorporates student senses as it corresponds to the development of their cognitive processes. For example, clear bottles that are colored, each containing different scents, allow children to explore and create. They could mix the colors and scents to see what they create, pretending that they are chefs in a kitchen. Collaboration is achieved by providing opportunities to work individually and as part of a group that includes other children as well as adults. Children are able to understand the dynamics of group work while valuing their individual contributions. Through collaboration, children are able to help each other construct their understanding of the world around them. Transparency is important as it is incorporated in multiple ways in a Reggio Emilia classroom. Various objects are made transparent, such as mirrors, windows, glass walls, and clear objects that allow light to flow through. As noted earlier, light in a Reggio classroom is important, and it is important to provide objects that allow children to experiment with lighting. Transparency also cultivates and inspires children's curiosity by clearly showing children what is available to explore. Transparency is also incorporated in conjunction of the environment and teacher, as the teacher is transparent in terms of what is on the walls and their documentation process. Bringing the outdoors in is also important in the classroom. By bringing the outdoors into the classroom, children feel more connected to nature and create a sense of belonging in the world. They are encouraged to respect the environment by learning to understand that everything is a living, breathing environment, and they must observe the changes and that impact the environment, whether it is naturally occurring or caused by other forces. Children can bring the outdoors in by bringing in objects such as leaves, rocks, pine cones, and other materials into the classroom and using the outdoors as the classroom itself. Flexibility is key in a Reggio environment as everything within the space must be ready to adapt to the needs of the children. Materials need to be accessible for children to utilize as needed. Rather than using concrete centers, desks, chairs, and shelves should be able to move throughout the room to meet the needs of the children and their learning. Reciprocity is important as it gives life to the classroom. The classroom should reflect the values of the children, parents, and community. The materials in the classroom should match the interests of the learners and extend their thinking that they already have. The classroom must be responsive to those present and should change with the students. Lastly, relationship refers to how objects are shown in relation to one another. Kelsey Robson provides the example of placing Lego blocks with driftwood logs with one another to show the relationship between artificial and natural building materials. This is important in highlighting and emphasizing the concepts of same and different and the connectedness between objects, one another, and these 8 principles as well. Each of these 8 principles are interconnected and work together to ensure the environment serves as a third teacher. Educators must make sure to organize their classroom in ways that allow for the environment to serve as the third teacher. The teacher promotes this environment by serving as a resource for children and documenting their progress through photographs, collecting student work, and the creation of portfolios. Through this approach, educators, children, and the environment work together to expand children's minds in meaningful and interesting ways. The kindergarten program is based on the interconnectedness of the educator, the learner, and the third teacher. All 3 components work together to create an environment that allows for inquiry-based and play-based learning to support the development of 4 to 5-year-old learners. The Reggio Emilia approach supports the belief that all children are capable, curious, and competent, and is used to support their strengths and abilities, their sense of belonging, and the development that will continue. The kindergarten program believes in all children and is used throughout Ontario to support children to reach their fullest potential through all aspects of their learning. Thank you for listening. And here is my references. Thank you.